He told everybody in front of Crystal, Deontay, everybody, we're going to get MacBooks, we're going to do that, we're going to get swag, we're going to use it for travel. I said, you cannot do that. It's a very, very specific grant. Took me off. I questioned Junior DA because I questioned him. Because I knew for a fact, Mr. Cuffey respectfully did not know what he was doing, period.
So I respect that is your assessment. It was clear to me that you and Mr. Cuffey were not getting along. And I'm not saying that your assessment is wrong. I want you to really listen to the words I'm saying.
Fulton County DA Fani Willis has been in hot water for quite some time now. Once is hailed as the tough no-nonsense prosecutor trying to take on Trump and trying to clean up Georgia politics, but now she finds herself facing several serious accusations, some of which suggest that she might have broken the law herself. A whistleblower says that Willis misused federal funds and says she got fired for speaking up. And that's just the beginning, because there's audio, there's email receipts, and there's a shady relationship that blew up an entire RICO case. And the stakes are massive. If proven true, Willis could face state or even federal charges for retaliating against a whistleblower, obstruction of justice, and misusing public resources. Her credibility as a prosecutor is already hanging out by the smallest of threads. And if this all unravels in court, she could be disbarred, removed from office, or even worse.
But I feel like as far as that, like this meeting, I just need to know that, like, as hard as I will go for you, like, just, if nothing else, like, respect and honesty. That's it. Like, and don't throw me out to the wolves, because that's not for me. And
so the question is, did Fani Willis try to lock up the President Trump while breaking the law herself? Before we get into that, let's talk about some of her problems. Fani's list of controversies are starting to read like a legal drama script. First, it's obviously the whistleblower saga. Timpson's accusations alone could trigger both state and federal investigations into obstruction and retaliation. But let's not stop there. The Nathan Wade situation threw a lot of gasoline on that fire. Not only did Willis hire her romantic partner to lead the Trump prosecution, but the two allegedly took multiple trips together on taxpayer money. That means financial records, ethics complaints, and potential misuse of county funds were all in play. Wade had to resign, and that alone torpedoed Willis's credibility in the biggest case of her career. And let's not forget the open records violation. A judge ordered her office to pay over $50,000 for failing to release documents to the press. That's just a terrible look, a serious slap in the face to anything that resembles transparency, a serious breach of transparency laws. At the same time, Willis's own team has started to fracture. Reports say morale in the DA's office has taken a nosedive, which key staff either reassigned, fired, or simply walking out. Add all to the fact that the Trump RICO case, her supposed legacy case, is in limbo, and the picture becomes clear. Willis isn't just under the fire, she's under scrutiny from the media, the courts, the legislature, and even federal investigators. If things keep unraveling, she could be facing disbarment, criminal charges, and the complete collapse of her political career. The only thing more dramatic than the cases she's prosecuting might be her own downfall. So let's get into it. Meet Amanda Timpson. She worked directly under Fani Willis in the Fulton County's DA office. Her job, overseeing youth programs and grant spending. Back in 2021, Amanda raised a lot of red flags. She said that top staffers were trying to use federal funds meant to stop youth violence for things like swag, computers, and just flat out nonsense. She warned them, documented it, even recorded conversations. Then out of nowhere, she got reassigned to a glorified desk job and hit with a ridiculous assignment. Create a 10-part behavioral health course in 26 hours. Basically a setup.
Things started to progress as far as my retaliation. It was almost daily that it was something. If it wasn't something, it was, something else. Eventually, the junior DA program started to near, and he started saying that he was going to be buying Apple products with the junior DA funds.
Products like Apple iPhones or computers?
Computers.
Okay.
I went to Miss Willis's office. Judging by Dexter was in this meeting, I could tell that she was already kind of briefed. And she said something to the effect of, "Now what's going on?" So I went to speak and tell her, I said, I'm concerned about the way the grants, and I think I said something else, and she cut me right off in the middle of my sentence and said, effective immediately, you're going to be moved, and demoted me to the role of file clerk.
Let's talk receipts. On November 16, 2021, Timpson's lawyer sent Willis a legal warning. You're violating whistleblower laws, and we're ready to sue. Willis's response? not let's investigate, let's not figure this out. Let's try to find a way to figure this all out. Let's try to work this out. Maybe she figure out what she was saying, and maybe what she was saying was correct. But she does the opposite. She goes with, we're absolutely not going to settle this claim. Emails show Willis told her team to gear up for the fight just hours after getting the letter. A few weeks later, boom, Timpson is fired. The official reason, poor performance and allegedly threatening behavior.
So it was like, I'm scared to lose my job. I have a whole family. We have a house. We have a mortgage. We have all of these things that we have to, maintain. And so I'm scared. I made another complaint. And then on January 14th, I was fired 20 minutes after leaving the DCRC, having my third and final complaint with the DCRC.
So here's the problem. Timpson has no disciplinary record, no problems in the past. In fact, Willis had recently praised her in the office-wide emails and even nominated her as a feature employee. Usually when you want to show how threatening someone is, you tell them how awesome they are and you tell the entire office about it, because that makes a whole lot of sense. And even worse, the threat allegations were completely debunked. Audio tapes show Timpson never said anything violent.
But I feel like as far as that, like this meeting, I just need to know that, like, as hard as I will go for you, like, just, if nothing else, like, respect and honesty. That's it. Like, and don't throw me out to the wolves, because that's not for me. And it's hard for me in this space because I grew up in a way that if something happens like that, you fight back physically. You know what I mean? And so I get emotional because I'm like, I'm grown now.
It's like I want to fight, but I
am grown now.
So,
I cannot.
So to piggyback off of partially what Ms. Toole was saying, I think that would be good. You having your own space. I don't know if Ms. Toole, you can make a decision now, but on that back wall, that one office is going to be vacant. That may be a good space for Ms. Timpson if you would like to be in that location.
The memo claiming she did, written after she filed the legal complaint. What are the coincidences? What are the odds? Written after she filed that legal complaint. After getting that legal notice, Wilson's teams rushed to manufacture a paper trail. Emails flew, memos were drafted. Suddenly, Timpson was public enemy number one. All of a sudden, she's Osama bin Laden. They claimed that she wanted to punch a coworker in the face, said that she talked about being from Compton and ready to fight. All very colorful, and looks like all very false. None of this showed up before the whistleblower letter, only after. Meanwhile, Timpson had the receipts, she had the recordings, and one of them, she told Willis directly that an aide tried to misuse federal funds. Willis didn't even deny it. She apologized. She called it a failure.
He told everybody in front of Crystal, Deontay, everybody, we're gonna get MacBooks, we're gonna do that, we're gonna get swag, we're gonna use it for travel. I said, you cannot do that. It's a very, very specific grant. Took me off. I questioned Junior DA. There's kids in there from out of the county, all this. Took me off Junior DA. I did not want to do it. He made it look as if I wasn't doing what I needed to do because I questioned him. Because I knew for a fact Mr. Cuffey respectfully did not know what he was doing, period.
So I respect that is your assessment. It was clear to me that you and Mr. Cuffey were not getting along. And I'm not saying that your assessment is wrong. I want you to really listen to the words I'm saying.
Then months later, she turned around and said Timpson didn't deserve an explanation because she was an underling. By early 2022, Timpson was escorted out of her office by 7 armed investigators. Yeah, for someone who had no record of violence, no written complaints, no nothing. Why? Because she exposed the problem. She exposed corruption. And instead of fixing it, Willis allegedly tried to bury it. The court filings say it all. There is no complaints about Timpson until after she threatened legal action. Then suddenly it was a firestorm of accusations. Willis even admitted in a deposition that she barely skimmed through Timpson's legal letter. And her previous praise for Timpson was trying to, and I say this quote, make chicken salad out of chicken shit. That makes no sense. So someone that's threatening people in the workplace, you give them praise, it doesn't make any sense. Like I said, that was a direct quote. Now, Timpson's retaliation lawsuit is heading to trial. It could be as soon as this July. And it's not looking good for Fani Willis. That was once the face of justice in Georgia. Add that to the Nathan Wade scandal. Willis hiring her boyfriend to run the Trump case, went on vacation with him using taxpayer money, and had to force him to resign after it all came out. And the whole RICO charge against Trump on pause. The Georgia Court of Appeals kicked Willis off the case altogether. So let's keep it real. If Fani Willis did what was alleged, she didn't just fail as a leader, she turned the justice system into a petty playground, firing a whistleblower, lying about it, covering up. That's not justice, that is textbook corruption. And the irony of all this, while trying to prosecute a RICO case, she might have been building one against herself. So what happens now? That's up to the courts. But in the court of public opinion, she's already on trial, and I think she looked pretty guilty. That is in my opinion. I think the whole Fulton County situation has been one corrupt, incompetent party with tons and tons of examples of how they effed everything up. Let's be honest, that whole YSL trial with Young Thug, the guy was able to go away and the guy was able to go home, even though he was the leader of this notorious, dangerous gang, and her prosecutors was so incompetent that he was able to go home. So it looks like she probably needs to be replaced with someone who actually knows what they're doing. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Should Fani Willis be investigated further? Or do you think this is all political noise? If you want more deep dives into this messy corruption cases like this one, hit the subscribe button because we are near 100,000 subscribers. The amount of subscribers that came over the last week has been ridiculous. It's been overwhelming, to be honest. Thank you for your support. If you want to support further, check out the Patreon I have. The link will be in the description below. And also sign up to my free email newsletter so you can keep on track of what's going on with the channel. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.